LakelandCarKeys.com. I'm currently sitting in the 2020 Chevy Colorado, all keys lost. So this is pretty similar to the Chevy Cruze that we did yesterday. So basically I'm going to have to pop this plastic cover off, pull this front section out, and then use the ignition removal tool to pop the ignition cylinder out. I think I have a better chance on the Colorado of it having the code stamped on the ignition than the Cruze. But if not, same procedure. I'll just disassemble the tumblers in the ignition, read the wafers, whatever, and reassemble it, cut a key, and continue with the programming. So I need both hands to get this part. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video and do exactly what I said. Just pop those off, and I'll try to record getting the ignition switch out for you. Alright, in a little turn of events, I tried using the ignition removal tool, and I couldn't get it to go. I pulled up a video on YouTube. I watched someone do it and noticed that their hole where you insert the tool was a little bit, theirs was center, mine was a little bit off the side. And I come to find out that the tool changed from 2019 to 2020. So in 2020, I actually called Accurita, who makes the IRT tool, and they told me it's impossible for the 2020 model because the tailpiece piece needs to be turned in order to remove the ignition. So it's impossible to use it. So I opted the other way and used NASDAQ and pulled the key code by VIN number. And I am currently cutting the transponder key, and then we'll move on to programming. Alright, so
this vehicle is connected by OnStar to limited services.
Alright, so I'm back in the vehicle, and that's the key we just cut. It is to the on position, and I am going to have to go through with the programmer and do a 12-minute wait. I'm sorry, it's real hard to see, but let's see. I'll go in, let it auto VIN. Alright, automatically pulls up the VIN number, hit OK. And this pretty much should be the same procedure that we did with that Cruze yesterday. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll down the window, pulls up this information. I'm gonna hit yes. And again, so this one, we're only doing one key. So I'm gonna do the immobilize the status scan, make sure there are actually two keys already in the system, and then once it tells me that there are two keys, I'm just going to add a key, because if we do an all keys lost and erase the keys, we have to add in two new keys back to the system. Alright, so right now it tells me the key numbers are 2, so I'm going to do add a key guided, and that way the guided system will pull the PIN number. That's what it's asking me now. Alright. We're connected with our Bluetooth dongle down there. Alright, ignition's on. So it's going to start reading the PIN. Alright, and I got to connect to the network. Alright, so go ahead and hit OK for network connection. I'm sorry for the screen glare. I'll try to see if I could turn the brightness down. Let's see if I turn the brightness down some. Alright, I can see a little bit better, but still not great. So it's going through the process now. It's reading the PIN from the BCM. Alright, so we got our PIN code there. It's 5307. Hit OK. Do we want to clear the DTCs? I'm going to go ahead and say yes. Alright, so it tells us to close all doors. Switch the ignition on. Alright, and then we want to start key programming. I'm going to hit yes. Again, close all doors, switch the ignition on. Alright, it automatically populated the pin number that we just pulled. I'm going to select OK. OK. And then it's going through a 12-minute wait. I can't get a good reading on that, but basically it's going through the 12-minute wait. That's why I closed the door and I'm outside the vehicle. Like I said, I could go back to my van and clean up, organize some stuff, do some other things that I need to do. I don't have to sit in the vehicle for 12 minutes. Alright, so once this is done with the 12-minute wait, I'll cut back in and show you the rest of the process of adding the key. Alright, we're getting down to close to what should be the end of this wait time. Usually in between about 84 and 85%, it'll go ahead and continue and have us shut off the key. Then I can open the door and get back inside and finish the program procedure. Like I said, if it ends up going past 85% all the way to 100%, I know usually it failed at doing what it has to do, and there we go. Alright, so it's configuring. Alright, so it tells us to switch the ignition off and remove the key. And again, like yesterday, I should have checked before I started. Crap. So here I am stuck with my pants down. I gotta step on the brake to get this in park, and I can't remove the key while it's still in neutral. So I think it's gonna be okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit OK, and then it's gonna tell us to open and close the door. And Alright, so I open and close the door. Make sure all the... Alright. Oops. Alright. Hit OK. Alright, so now it's telling us to insert the key to be learned. And switch the ignition on. Go ahead and hit OK. And then it's going to go into configuring. Alright. It says the current key is complete matching. Do you want to match your next key? I'm going to hit no because we're only doing one key. Alright, switch the ignition off. Remove the key. Okay. Open and close the driver's door. Alright. Hit OK. It was odd that, I did one of these yesterday, I did one today, both for repair shops, and, they both caught me off guard with the car being in neutral. So that's some of the things that you want to look for when, when doing keys. Because say if it was in drive or whatever, it's not going to let you pull the key out. So when you get to the point where you have to pull the key out, you might get stuck. So I'm going to go ahead, turn the ignition on, hit OK. Alright, switch ignition off. OK. Switch the ignition on. OK. Number of match keys to OK. Alright, so that's weird because our number of keys should have went to 3. There was already 2 keys. So it told me that the key learning was successful, and my key icon is still up on the dash. So this might have failed programming. Alright, no, we don't want to program the remote. And yep, it failed. So I'm not sure where the failure point was, but unfortunately I'm gonna have to go through this whole procedure, do the 12-minute wait again, and hopefully I can figure it out. So in a situation like this, what I like to do is just verify that I'm using the right transponder key. Like I said, 2020, I haven't done a 2020 before. It's different than the 2019s. So it's a possibility that they changed the chip in it. My reference point I looked up said it should be the same chip, but they did also have some other keys that it could possibly be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my my little X-Force handheld and detect the ignition coil and see what it's telling me that it should be. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to start that whole 12-minute wait again. Fords, when you do a 10-minute wait, if it fails, it allows you to attempt again, or, switch the key and attempt again. But the GMs, when you fail that 12-minute wait, yeah, you got to start over and do it over again. So I'm going to cut the video, check this ignition coil, and start the 12 minutes over again. Alright, so I had a little fight with the Colorado, and for whatever reason, the key programming failed on the first attempt. And I think it might have been when I accidentally hit the lock button, and then I reached in and unlocked it. The littlest things will trigger it to fail. So the thing about these keys is, like, I could put this key in my programmer, read the key information, and it'll tell me if it's a brand new key, or, brand new, it will say unlocked, and a program key will say lock. So when we were going through the programming procedure, it told me the programming was complete, but then it failed somewhere along there to start the vehicle. And when I put the key back in the reader, it told me that key was locked. So I, went, before I read that it was actually locked, I tried the procedure 2 more times, waited to 12 minutes, and as soon as it got to the programming part, it would fail automatically. And then I put it in my mini VVDI, and it told me it was locked. So this key we were actually doing was a super chip, so I was able to go back and regenerate it as the correct key type, which put it in the unlocked status, so like it was a brand new key. I went through the procedure again, obviously 12-minute wait, and it programmed successfully, and we are running. So like I said, sometimes it's, it was my fault more than likely. Sometimes you're your own worst enemy. I tried doing things to save time and, created more of a problem. But now that we're done with this, I'm gonna go on and show you. I'm gonna record another video coming up next on a Chevy Malibu that we're gonna do here at the same shop. All right, so I'm glad I'm able to get some of these errors in there, and so you can see what happens and what I do on my way around it. Had this not been, a chip with a key with a super chip in it, say if it was a regular B119 key, I would have just cut another key and go ahead and start it with a fresh key and added it in. But this one is good to go. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. LakelandCarKeys.com.